Welcome everybody once again to the D-constructingTopics podcast, and we have another good one. We have another good one. My fellow beautiful family that's out there listening to this podcast once again, I enjoy the feedback and it makes me feel good. A lot of people have given me a lot of good feedback on a couple of episodes. That it's like, yo, just keep doing it, D. D as in Deconstructing Topics. Making it happen. And today's going to be another one where, I was kind of a little bit thinking about this one because I wasn't sure if it's a little too early. And today we're going to get to know the 2024 presidential candidate, Cornel West, running for president under the Green Party in the 2024 presidential election. For those that live in the United States, see people from Europe, South Korea, Puerto Rico. I can see people that listen to my show, what country they from. There's a lot of love out there. Netherlands, Germany. I'm like, wow. Well, we making it happen. We got to make this thing a little bit more global. We got to make this podcast universal. And today we have a universal topic. For those who live in the United States, you already know that we got the 2024 presidential elections. And I was thinking about doing like a little series of the presidential candidates. Even though we in July of 2023, time is passing, time is ticking, and it's like, yo, what the hell happened to time? And I'm like, yo, I gotta make a podcast about time. Looks like time is an illusion. There's some people in the camp, and it's as I'm over here trying to get a little philosophical, or something to that effect. I like philosophy, and one of the topics that I discuss about is philosophy, the philosophy behind this and that. And there's no better way to introduce that Dr. Cornel West. For those people, now there's a lot of people that don't know that he's running for president. A lot of people don't know who he is. A lot of people have seen him. And it's interesting that this individual, so he's a philosopher, political activist, social critic, actor, public intellectual. We could go on. This guy got a resume. African-American brother for Oklahoma, my understanding. And wow, when he decided to run for president, I was like, yo, whoa. Now, by the way, he's running under the Green Party, which means unless something drastic happens, my understanding is that he will be in the ballot. Unless something crazy happens, you already know with these two political parties, the Democrats, Republicans, they dirty. Poof. That's why don't. I'm not even gonna discuss if I ever gonna vote for them. That's the Uniparty. That's what I call the Uniparty. So Cornel West. I'm gonna put some links into this podcast, and it's interesting how when he decided to run. Now keep in mind, Cornel West, he got street creds, as they would say in the hood. So this is not on some, he's African American, so he's not on some Jesse Jackson or Barack Obama kind of thing, like. Especially like people like Barack Obama, like, you kind of question his resume. Like, what has he done? Oh, yeah, he's that, he's a smart, eloquent individual. But, my opinion on Obama, that's another podcast. But Cornel West, he has that street cred, meaning that he talks the talk. And he walks the walk. And he fights for, when it comes to like organizing job workers, he's pro-worker, pro-union. He's a Baptist Christian brother. And he's one of those, kind of the same vein as me. Where we put human values first. That's one of the good things about the scriptures. And the good news about, hey, I shout out, help our neighbor. So, Cornel West is going to be running. And he has made his appearances. But to me, like, this is one of the more interesting candidates that I've seen in a long time, and the fact that he's running like Green Party, independent. That means he's gonna be in the ballot. And to me, he's one of the more interesting candidate because how can I say this to you? You know, I'm gonna sound a little bit politically incorrect here, but he's a brother's brother. You feel me? He's not that type of brother that you kind of question, like, you know, is he, you know, a brother? We got a couple of those in Congress. We got a couple of those on the screens. Leaders, these so-called black leaders. They're not brothers. They're not sisters. Bunch of sellouts. Got a lot of black leaders that they sell out. And I'm Puerto Rican, and hey, my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters sell out too. That's another podcast in itself. But it's interesting how now you got this individual, right? And I would think in top of my head, he got to get like 20% of the black vote. It should be more than that, to be honest with you. And from 2016 to 2020, the Democrats ran in a ticket, oh, you know, Trump is the president, he's anti-black, so on. But then you put another white man in office as Biden, which is probably, you know, his record in terms of being pro-black. It's very highly questionable. You know? So now you got this individual that one of the platforms that he's running is that, hey, listen, we got to dismantle the empire. He's against NATO. Huh, we heard that story before. If you're against NATO, you're done. But this is a brother, and even Alejandro Ocasio-Cortez, the congresswoman, New York City, who, you know, decided to say, hey, I'm going to back Biden, but she acknowledged Cornel. And there's a lot of these so-called black leaders and Latino leaders out there. They know who Cornel West is because he most likely fought for something where you was part of, you know, whether it's, you know, organizing labor or something to that effect, fighting for the rights of workers, whether it's in Amazon, whether it's this, that. And you acknowledge him, and you know, an interesting thing to give you an idea. I mean, that individual, Cornel West, actually, I forgot that he actually made an appearance in The Matrix. The movie The Matrix, I think it was Reloaded or something to that effect. And just to give you an idea where his philosophy is, and he's always one of those individuals that's always going to see that, hey, listen, there's something behind that. I know some people knock him down because he supported Biden. But, you know, a lot of people got duped when it came to Biden. I didn't vote for any of those two chumps, Biden or Trump, because I know these people. Come on, man. I love America, but come on, America. You could do better than that. And this is the perfect example of a presidential candidate for Cornel West. Taking a little bit of swig of, little nice bourbon. Don't encourage, you know, they always say, don't drink and drive. I think that I'm going to come with a new, don't drink and do podcast. But sometimes I enjoy a little bit of that adult beverage, especially a little bit of bourbon. Gets me a little bit enlightening. As long as it's you drinking moderation. And I knew I needed to take a little swig of something when I'm doing this podcast with Cornel West. And like I said, just to give you an idea where the brother is from, his idea of the Matrix. You know, we could go on a little Matrix little thing here, but you know, the idea that there's always something that's not real, that's behind something. And look, listen, if we have learned through the course of history, is that there's a lot of times where the government uses the media to tell a lie so they could go to war. But I was born in Puerto Rico, and we was invaded by U.S., but this was part of the 1898 Spanish Treaty. When the United States said, hey, the Spanish Navy, they blew up one of our ships in Cuba. Fake story. It wasn't true. The United States got into a little war. It wasn't even a war. It was just a little Boom, 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 boom. Okay, now your territories are coming to me. So just to tell you that, listen, there's always going to be question everything. And Cornel comes with that philosophy and that mindset. He wants to save the planet because there's a lot of things going on. He's anti-war, as he always talk about how much money we have spent on war. And the other day, he comes on CNN because he's doing a little tour. And remember, it's funny because Cornel West, even before running for president, he was known. People always liked his take. People want to listen to him. What do you think about this, Cornel? And people always enjoy him, and for the most part, I have. But he's on CNN on Anderson Cooper, and Anderson Cooper just going after him, and you see Cornel just going back and forth, like he really wants to let it out, but he's a Christian brother. He's holding on. He has no qualm, no issues with Anderson, but yeah. Your basic question to him: why is it that you're not supporting Ukraine? Because Russians are bad. And Cornel's want to respond. Hey, listen, what do you think the United States did when they invaded Iraq? Killed 500,000 something Iraqis, children, women. And you see Anderson's face is like, well, don't you think that we could do it and help Ukraine to not suffer the same as Iraq, but yet we invaded Iraq? I was lost on that interview, but you see how Anderson was a mouthpiece of the military complex. And unfortunately, I'm pretty sure Anderson Cooper, if you talk to him outside of his show, he's probably a different story. But, he's part of CNN. They're like the parrots or whatever. Mouthpiece of the military complex. So that's my thing with that situation in regards to that. And you see, it's interesting because you see how a lot of people have started to attack ever since he started running for president. One of the reasons is that a lot of people have said, hey, listen, the reason why one of the reasons why he won the 2016 election, it wasn't because Hillary was a bad candidate. No, it's because Joe Stein ran in the Green Party and she might have taken votes for Hillary. And I said to myself, no, those people that voted for Joe Stein just did not want to vote for Hillary. Obviously, they did not want to vote for Trump. So there's a little candidate. So this is that media propaganda that they use, and now out of nowhere, because Cornel West is running for president, oh, he might be the reason why Trump gets to office, bearing that Trump doesn't do time or anything like that. And I'm saying to myself, wow. Especially some of these white liberals, and it's I always mention to people, especially my people, black people, those people that go out there and vote and be like, oh, we gotta vote for Democrats because Republicans and this. And I said to myself, bro, voting for them is the same. But I always tell people and I warn people, one of the things that Brother Malcolm X warned us is that these white liberals, they own your houses, your businesses. They own everything that you do. And then you go out there and put these people to power. And when it comes to an independent, free thinker person like Cornel West, and what they started doing, attacking the dude. People started calling him right wing. I'm like, what? Anytime that a black man has a different mindset or a different mentality or things different than what they want you to think, they attack him. Look, with all due respect, Brother Louis Farrakhan, not a big fan of his, but he thinks different. He's not a fan of the LGBT. He's not a fan of the Jewish, my understanding. So what happens? Now, keep in mind, whether you agree with Louis Farrakhan or not, for the most part, he thinks on his own in terms of left and right, liberal, conservative. His ideology is very different than those of the white liberal people, so they attack him. And he could probably be saying something about his faith, understanding he's Muslim. So he's going to speak about the sins that his faith won, and boom, they attack. And the same thing with Cornel West. He's Christian. You see, Cornel, he's pro-human. Hey, he fought for the LGBT equality and all that with the trans people out there. He fought. He put human in. I'm the same way, but just the fact that they attack him, and I remember years ago, I was having a conversation, and it led to a little. How can I say it to you? One of the issues that I have with black leaders is that you're telling me, Trump racist, this is racist, and that is racist. And I remember having that conversation with this black leader, and he said, well, I think at that time was when Joe Rogan was being attacked. Joe Rogan is popular, the most popular podcaster. They will catch him when he said the N-word. You already know what's that word. And it was attacking, and this black leader was like, yo, he's a racist. What you think about him? And I'm like, yo, didn't Joe Biden said the same thing too? Used the N-word, and he didn't like black people? Wasn't he part of that law that put a lot of black people in prison back in the mid-90s? And I remember that individual started like, well, nobody should be saying the N-word. Started stuttering. And he started talking about that white people's the devil and the evil. But I'm like saying to myself, yo, but then the white liberals, when they tell you, because my understanding, he was a known black leader, whatever it is, he gets allegations or whatever. People love him, for the work he has done. But behind the scene, he's a sellout. And I called him on that. You're bootlicker. I call him on that. And it's funny how we have a lot of black leaders that tend to do that. But then at the end of the day, they tell you to vote Democrats because you know what? They get paid, they get money to be these so-called parrots, glorified parrots, echo chamber. For those who knows like what an echo chamber, you go to one of these places where they just a chamber. I've been to a couple of those, Puerto Rico. And you go, whoa, 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 whoa. It's an echo. That's what they do. They become echo chambers. And they sell out. And time after time, and it's interesting because now Cornel West is running. Again, you would think that these black leaders will go on the bet. I remember when he went on Nina Turner, individual that's working for the Young Turks. Not a fan of those people neither. And I think she ran for Congress a couple of times and she failed. She's what they call these progressive kind of Bernie camp people. Pro health, pro this, pro that. So he came on her show and she's basically like telling him and asking him kind of in a way why you're not running as a Democrat. And she's like, well, the Democrats and the Justice Democrats. And brother Cornel West said, well, that's an oxymoron. Should have saw her face like, I agree with you, but I'm not going to, she kind of like nodded her head like, yeah, I'm with you. But she ain't going to stand and go out there and be like, yeah, you're right, brother Cornel. This is why I stopped voting Democrats because they the same thing. Because, hey, she got bills to pay, feel me? That's how they get you. So I'm challenging the black communities, the black leaders out there, as Brother Cornel West is running, especially in 2024. If you really stand on some shit like, like they prop you up for 4 years from 2016 to 20 about Trump being a racist and all that, and you voted for Biden, which is arguably more racist, by far, based on his policies, right? By far. And you're going to vote for that dude again? Come on now. You can't, in these communities, and again, I'm going to call out my Latinos, Latinx leaders too. They're the same way. I'm anti-imperial. Meaning I can't trust. I love this country. I love the people that's here. But I need to remind people, why is it that we still struggling? I'll tell you why. It's a lot of sellouts in our communities. And in the black community, like I said, if you're telling me that you can't make a push for brother Cornel West, I don't know. I mean, I just don't understand what this struggles that you guys are talking about. 85% when they come and vote for Democrats is blacks. I see Ice Cube making the rounds like, hey, listen, the minute that he started speaking about the establishment, they blocked him. My understanding is that he sat down with Trump because he was a presidential candidate. Hey, listen, Trump, I got this plan right here for the black agenda. What happened? He got attacked. I mean, come on, man. It's like I tell people, it's like, yo, Trump, he was created by these people that want you to hate him. He sits in the table, all these Clay and Bidens, all these people in New York Times and all these media, CNN, they all stood in Trump hotels. I don't know if I have a date. Would that matter? No, not really. What mattered to me when you telling me that you hate Trump and you want me to hate Trump, but yet you're the one that supports Trump. You're the one that created that dude. So in regards to Cornel West, it's an interesting candidate. Like I said, I'm gonna put some links there to his website. Running for president, hey. People are gonna be like, damn, but then you say that you don't vote. I don't vote for the Uni Party. Not a fan of the Democrats, Republicans, but I'm up for independent. I'm up for a third party because that's what we need. We need more third party. We need more options. Come on. This country cannot be lagging. Like, how is it that we giving money to other places? We care for more for in other countries more than we do here. You know, they keep us divided, and this is that chance for us to be like, yo, let's end that duopoly. Let's get behind brother Cornel West. And I wish I could talk to that black leader, the you know, kind of disappeared somewhere. Hope he's doing good, but I would put him on the spotlight. Are you gonna vote for Cornel? Are you gonna still, bootlick and kids? These white liberals. I could have sworn that you told me that white people are evil. And it's funny because that brother is Christian, and he started using some Muslim philosophy about how Muslims see white people. But yeah, you're the first one to lick that boot when it comes to politics. Come on now, we're in 2023. Remember, I always tell people, always keep this in mind. Never ever think that that we need them. They need us. And that minute, when it comes to like the presidential elections, when as a Democrat, right, because that's where they get the most black votes, the most minority votes, quote unquote. When they see that you only got 50% of black votes and black voters they didn't vote, they skip. Oh, trust me. Oh, they'll realize that, and they'll do anything to make sure that you vote for them. But in this part, because you didn't vote for them, oh, they're gonna do things for your community. They'll pass a law real quick. Reparations. Whew. The minute that Democrats start seeing that black people are not voting for them, and they voted for Cornel. And I just hope that Cornel West doesn't. I'm with him all the way to 2024. I just hope that he doesn't cave. I mean, on that brother, I don't think he will cave. He's running. If he does cave, I just hope that he doesn't select a candidate from the Democratic Party. Because it's funny how they use him when it comes to organizing. But now it's his turn to organize, and you're not helping him. Ain't that some shit? So that's just a little bit of insight on 2024 presidential candidate Cornel West. Down the line, I'll be talking about other presidential candidates, what I think. That's a lot of them. So I'm only gonna pick the people that are more important that to discuss. Cause time is money, and me wasting my breath on somebody that I can't get that time back. But Cornel West is definitely worth my time, and it's definitely worth your time. So check him out more. If people are interested about knowing about Cornel West, feel free to reach out to me. Much love out there to my beautiful people. Once again, it's Deconstructing Topics. I wouldn't be doing this because I, you guys, that love that you guys showed, the feedback. I love you all. Much love. Be safe. And I'm out. Peace.